Hello, this is Dave, and welcome to Equity Story. I won't sort of waste too much. There's the ASX 200 on a daily chart. You know, went quite nicely through that buy signal. Again, jumped up a little bit, but again, still, I think generally the market is still pretty flat, and we do feel that the market is going to come off, and that is why we're not putting out too many trending stocks at the moment. I do want to see this pullback, and then we can get in and just start running some trends. Um, However, one trend that we did put on this week, TWE, I think it's sort of classic equity story trend. That's basically what we saw just squash up. That's how we saw it on Sunday evening, and that's what it's done. It's had that nice little jump up. Great, classic equity story for me. Nice little 6-7% in a few days. That's a great way to make money, and I still think TWE's got a few legs, but maybe when this market does pull back, we could even have a better buying opportunity to get into the story. Certainly, what is evident is that throughout this whole earnings reporting season, the growth in some of the Australian companies has just been exceptional and looked very, very strong. And this only fills me, fills me full of hope for the following year. And I think, generally speaking, if companies in Australia are having these sort of earnings growth, eventually, obviously, they're going to keep going up, and we can keep on hitting more trends. One of those stories is Vocus, and again, down a little bit today, but the market isn't always logical, as we know. But Vocus, what a fantastic story, growing its earnings by 455%. Certainly, if you look at it on an enterprise value compared to companies like TPG Telecom, it looks very, very cheap. And it's got a lot of earnings growth that's going to come out of that M2 deal that it did recently. So there's so much growth still to come from Vocus. And again, I think we're trending this one at the moment, but whether you're trending this one or you just want to hold it in a portfolio, I think there's plenty of growth left in Vocus. As certainly Blackmores, again, if you look at Blackmores, you want a little bit of guidance. Blackmores is now trading on one of the great growth stories recently on the Australian market. Blackmores is now trading on a P of around 22 with a dividend of 3%. I think this is fantastic value for a company that grew its profits up by 115% last year. There's plenty of growth all throughout Asia for Blackmores, and will the company go lower? It could do. I do think by the end of the week it'll hold this support around 130, 131, and if you look at how Blackmores has moved before, it's had big pullbacks within 3 weeks. It's been more or less back up to where it's fallen. I think you might see something again similar with Blackmores. I don't think it's going to be long before it's back up in that sort of 153 level. So potentially over the next 3 weeks there could be a really nice sort of 15, 16, 17% return there on Blackmores for people who purchased it today. I'd certainly be looking at the stock if it. We're only holding it as a 3-year growth story, but I'd certainly, if I could see it turn, definitely could maybe have a look at trending it. Just like to say one thing, the gold stories, and I just pull out the. This is quite a good. You can actually go to Bullion Vault. It gives you the gold charts at the moment, and when you look at these gold charts, gold is still trading at not far off record highs. So generally speaking, in Australian dollar terms, the Australian gold miners are absolutely making a fortune. And I think it's quite interesting when you look at some of the Australian gold plays, and obviously Northern Star's in our 3-year growth portfolio, but it's coming back to that long-term trend line, which we said before about 3 or 4 weeks ago. This is where we want to look at buying it. Again, if you can, what we want to do now is see Northern Star start turning, and again, we could give us a fantastic opportunity to trend some really good gold stories and make some really good money out of gold again. Evolution, They've just done a capital raise, I think, just above $2. So I imagine this will come down to this sort of level. But again, I think potentially over the next 3 or 4 weeks, we've got fantastic entry points into, I think, the two best gold stories at the moment in Australia. So we're watching gold. We do feel that gold is going to come back a little bit in the short term. Yellen's talking about interest rates going up, whether they do or not. It is going to affect the gold price. But sort of medium to longer term, we're very, very bullish with gold, and certainly if we can get back into trending these stories close to this moving average, we'll be very, very, very happy. That's all I've got to talk about tonight at Equity Story. All day long we're looking for opportunities and ways to make money and looking at trends. We're looking at businesses. In the past, we've been approached here at Equity Story quite a few times for IPOs to put our members into. We've actually never found something that we believed wholeheartedly that this is just going to be incredible. However, that's changed. This week, it's a company that we've actually known about for 3 or 4 years. They are listing on the Australian market, and there is a potential that we can get our members into the story before they list. We are going to be bringing you that story hopefully tomorrow night or Friday night, and I think when you see the story, it's going to make the stories like rap look very, very small. Anyway, I look forward to bringing you that story, and thank you very much for listening to Equity Story, and good night.